What's up, guys? This is Matt Drayton with the Sigma Sit Down. We have Cole Headington.
What's up, guys?
And Matt Mastrangelo.
What's going on?
And this is episode number 2. I don't know what the title of it's going to be just yet, but, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What do we got on the docket today?
Mastrangelo, let's hit it up.
So today we are talking about, number one is going to be talking about assault rifle bans. So that's going to be a number one topic that we're going to be hitting. And then we're going to be talking about a few things. Exercise is going to be brought up, how it's important day to day. And then we're going to be talking about basically how fundamental it is to be checking out the news, checking out your sources, and some up and coming predictions as far as like what we think might happen. So right now we're just kind of looking into, the facts and seeing where we go from there. So
I think
let's kick it off with this assault rifle ban that we have going on.
I think on just to add 2 cents to what you said, Mastrangelo, is guys, for those of you watching, listening to this podcast, at the end of it, we're going to touch back to this, and I'm going to write it down, but I want you guys to be able to take away an actionable step for what we say, the things we talk about. It's one thing to talk about topics and, discussion points, but if you're not actually doing something to better the situation or better yourself, then there's no point in talking about it. So with that, assault rifles, pew-pews of large and small varieties. Hey, sometimes size does matter, guys. What do we got?
And the difference between the two, because most people don't understand the difference between
some people are shooting,
semi-automatic weapons.
Some people are shooting blanks. Some people got a fucking 50-round mag.
Exactly, and they ain't afraid to use it with them green tips on there.
They are not afraid.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if everyone knows about this, but just recently, I believe July 29th, the House of Representatives actually passed legislation banning assault rifles. And that means anyone that's already previously bought them and anyone that's going to buy them. The crazy thing that's going to happen here, or what my prediction kind of is the House, primarily liberals, definitely on the left-leaning side over there. Majority. There's a lot of, this is kind of just the way I see it. There's a lot of agenda role playing here. I mean, kind of some conspiracy stuff, but more to the facts is, let's say now that the House has already passed that they want to ban it, it goes to the Senate. What happens from there? When they ban it, or if they ban that, or if it comes to a tiebreaker where, the House wants to ban it and the Senate says we're for it, it comes down to Kamala Harris, which is kind of a scary thing.
Why is it up to her?
Because it comes down to the vice president after.
But why isn't Biden making the call?
Let's take a look.
Do you know, Mr. Angelo?
Why is it Kamala Harris?
Why does she
deciding factor?
Yeah, why is she the deciding? If something is going into law that goes to the president's desk, why is it going to her desk?
It might be. I don't know off the top of my head. I would look it up, but I would say it's probably so close in factor that they need some type of deciding factor. I would imagine that this is pretty much, it's a 50-50 split. Because I don't think that any House Republican is going to vote for an assault rifle ban. And I think just about every, House Democrat is probably going to vote for an assault rifle ban. And the thing is, they've been pushing the assault rifle agenda for a minute here. I think every week it seems like there's another shooting. And I think everyone wants to put the light more on the weapon itself. And at the same time, I think that if you really want to get into gun policy, I don't think that that's really, right now they're just doing scare tactics, which is kind of the pattern that you see in politics. You see event, scare tactic, policy change, which is like, it's always the formula for control. Always. Like anytime you look at it.
It's action, reaction, here's the solution.
Which is always just taking a little bit more. That's what they want. They just want a little bit more freedom. And that's the thing. They're coming after your constitutional rights.
Well,
which is kind of a big thing.
I think another piece to it is that people forget that the states have more power than the federal government. So it's up to each state to take what the federal government pushes and either adopt it change it a little bit or say, fuck you, we're not doing any of that. So us being...
I think a lot of times it should be up to the states. Like that's the states should have more power than the federal government. You don't want the Fed getting involved in your day-to-day life.
No.
It's just not their lane. It's two totally separate lanes. And it's just like, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's not the Fed. The Fed's job, borderline, is to make sure that I would say their biggest role is to make sure that we win in combat. That's as far as making sure your military,
the borders,
is
the hard borders.
Yeah, they're in charge of a lot of other things, but as far as the only thing we're really good at is warfare. We are really good at that, and that's the thing that they want to keep maintaining. But as far as the government getting involved in your day-to-day life, you don't want that.
No, that's one of those takes up too much control of those guys.
So what do you got, Cole?
So just kind of looking into it, says the 100-member Senate is divided 50-50 between Republicans and Democrats, who control the chamber because Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris is its ceremonial president and has the power to break tie votes.
So it's because it's a tie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Right.
See, guys, that is a good example of us just putting in the time to figure something out. I honestly didn't know why Kamala Harris was the deciding factor for that.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Cole did a little bit of research.
It was something like that, but it wasn't. I didn't know how all the details.
I think that's called...
It's a ceremonial position.
I think they call that a filibuster rule or something. Yeah. That's a term. But now you guys know too.
Yeah. Exactly. Just trying to get you guys some more information so you guys can just kind of see and, kind of to bring this back to the...
And then save that link. We'll put that in there so that way people can look at it for themselves. But yeah, going back, guys, let's discuss what a Sigma is.
Yeah.
And you can be a male or female Sigma, notoriety-wise, or was it pop culture-wise? I guess you would put it in the same light as alpha male status, or just for guys in specific, just because guys are more about... outward expression of is it outward expression of their emotions? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I think I actually had this pulled up here. Let me...
Mr. Angela, you run with it while he's looking for that.
So what a Sigma male, or just a Sigma in general, but a Sigma is a person who's willing to go their own way. That's the main focus of a Sigma. They're confident people who are willing to run with their own ideas and run with their own decisions. And they're not afraid of basically scrutiny. They're not afraid to go against the norm.
Go against the grain.
And that's why Sigmas are so rare, is because they don't follow the same sheep mentality. They don't follow into place. They can be successful on their own, or they can be successful in a group, but it's their choice. If they want to be in a group, it's because they chose to be in the group.
Yeah. Well, and they surround themselves by like-minded people.
Right.
A Sigma's not going to...
analytical thinkers, but they're willing... it has to be on their own terms.
100%. So what I was going to say is, I'm saying this in the male definition now. For a Sigma that's a male, is a slang term used in a masculinist subcultures.
Oh, offended.
But it's
my feelings are so hurt.
It's a male that's you can be popular. I feel like all of us had a ton of friends. We were kind of we had friends and stuff. I didn't
ever go out of my way to make friends. Yes. People just knew of me and just the energy I put out. And Mr. Angelo could vouch for me here in high school. I was not the popular kid, but everybody knew me. Which was funny enough. I was I don't do anything, but people are that's fucking Drayton over there. I'm hell yeah, it is.
Well, that's kind of how I was in high school too. Everyone knew me. I was friends, or I shouldn't say friends, but I was, I knew everyone in their own separate cliques. I could hop into that and be a part of it when I needed to be.
You could chameleon your way in. Mr. Angelo, the same thing for you. You didn't ever belong to a clique. If anything, it was me and you against everybody. We're dude, what Rammstein song are you listening to today? We're I don't know. Just the same old shit.
It was basically, that's the thing is that's why Sigmas are so fascinating, because it is them versus everybody else. They're willing to bet against the odds.
Yeah.
Because they're willing to say, let me look at this a little bit deeper and a little bit longer, and I'll bet against the odds.
And figure it out.
Because they don't fall trap to groupthink.
Well, that's what makes. That's why I feel. I was sorry.
Oh, no, you go.
I was just gonna say I feel like this is why this resonates so much with us, is because another part of it was like being successful but highly independent and self-reliant man.
Dude, you have to be self-reliant. Like, dude, you don't have to be a Sigma to be self-reliant.
No, but I feel like that's a very strong trait in Sigmas, where, like you said, Mr. Angelo, where they don't need to follow that sheep mentality or that sheep herd. You know, they're gonna go out there and blaze their own trail, but like you said, calculate it and get all the information and still bet on that risk. You know, put it all on that.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's like, I'm a very much type of person where I'm a firm believer of you eat what you kill, which is kind of like, it's the Sigma way. You eat what you kill.
Yep.
Like, if you're willing to work for it, you're willing to get it, it's yours. I mean, that's the lone wolf mentality.
And you what you kill. Another way of saying that, people, is you earned it with a hard E.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. And the reason I agreed to have that as a name is like 2 weeks ago, before we started actually saying like, hey, we should do this podcast, like, for reals, guys, like, for reals. Like, I'm serial.
Serial.
I'm so serial. Was those YouTube videos of like describe. I didn't like the audio, fucking the narration of it. I was like, this dude sounds like a fag, you know? Like, he's talking.
Oh, the one that I said.
He's like, it's in a preacher's voice, and he says a Sigma male is. It's like, am I watching a nature documentary? Or is this guy talking about like how I act as a person? So, you know, I agreed with a lot of the stuff they said, like describing it, just off the bat without even doing any research. I was like, I like the way this feels, and it's kind of a thing. Like, some people, I feel, would paint it in the same light as the people that can't decide what sexuality they are, like male or female. They're like, I'm a unicorn. It's like, oh, I'm a Sigma male. No, it's not the same thing. It's your personality type. And I feel like if you know yourself more as a person, that's just going to benefit you, because then you have another tool in your toolbox that you know how to use, not just something that you have as a sticker on your fucking car saying, oh, believe in me because I fucking eat rainbows and poop candy because I'm a unicorn. So that's my piece on that. Yeah, unicorn. The horn of unicorn.
The horn of unicorn.
Yeah. But we can jump back, unless you guys had any more to say about what a Sigma male is, a Sigma person.
I also feel like it just...
Okay, so both of you do have some. All right, Cole, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just feel like it's, you know, there's no mold for us to fit. Like, we create our own, you know.
You can't fit in a box.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no way to put us in a type of box, or, you know, you can't focus us on just like one section, like, and like hierarchies and stuff like that. I feel like that's sometimes why we have a little bit of trouble. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like authority and stuff like that for me.
Always, they're slightly rule breakers. It's
you could say we're bad boys.
Yeah,
bad to the bone.
They don't comply with stupid rules because they thought about it. They thought it through,
and it doesn't make sense.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
It makes no difference to them whether or not the rule is there or not.
Yeah.
Like, they'll figure, and if the thing is, if the rule doesn't make sense to them, they won't follow it. Every time, 100 times out of 100 times, because they don't fall to societal norms.
Exactly.
And they never will. Like, a real Sigma will say, that rule's dumb, I'm not following it. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do about it? Yep. Basically.
100%.
Almost every time. Because they thought about it, and it doesn't fall into their principles.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't do it.
It's funny because I've ran into this at our work at Empire. Just, you know, little things where they say one thing, so you do the other, I do the other. I get the same outcome, but it's a lot faster, and I still make them money, and then I get my ass chewed.
Are you talking about like technicality of like how to make the sale?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
so walk us through like what was told to you, and then how you did it as and then after that, Mr. Angelo, if you have nothing else, then we'll move on to the next point.
So like, I sold a motorcycle. It was one of our demos, and
this is a good story so far. I feel like I'm there. What motorcycle was it?
It was a CF Moto 300 SS. It's one of our demos. It's one of the newer bikes to the United States right now. I mean, they're really popping off.
You said a 300? Was it an NK or was it the sport one?
The SS, the sport bike.
Dude, those things are such turds. Was it to the chubbier kid?
No, he bought one for me though too.
Yeah, I remember him. I've seen him.
The XXL series.
XXL. It's got cinnamon bits. It's
Exactly.
funny though, because I'm the one that fucking puts those together, and then he's the one that sells them. Yeah. So I know very much what he's talking about. Yeah, they're cool looking bikes, but they're slower than shit.
It's not like they did a really good job designing it, but it needs like a 750cc engine.
It needs double the engine for what it looks like. Yeah. It looks a lot faster than it actually is. Yeah. But anyway, keep going.
Anyways, so they are a little bit newer to the state, so I mean, there hasn't been a lot of traction on them lately. So we get talked to about it, and you're like, hey, we're number 5, I believe, in our region behind everyone else, and they've all sold all their bikes, and we've only sold like 15.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like thinking in my head, all right. And after that talk, all I've done is like when people come in, they're looking, they don't want to spend a ton of money, but they kind of want a new bike,
middle of the road.
So obviously I'm going to push CF Moto because it's a really good bike for the price.
Right.
So what do you know? I get this guy in there. He's talking to me. We're looking at the bike and everything. He really enjoys it. And I'm like, all right, well, I have this one. It's our demo model. Mm-hmm. It's been 90 days. You can buy this one because we have to keep our demos for 90 days. Mm. So get that one all done. He's like, yeah, I'll do that one. I don't want to. He's like, can I take it with me today? And I said, no, it has to be on Monday. We have to do a PDI, all this and that and everything. So that was fine with him. Get done with the sale. He leaves. Next thing I know, I'm getting talked to about selling our demos and all this and that. And then I'm just like, first of all, I'm getting my ass chewed for not selling enough of these bikes. And when I do sell them, I'm getting my ass chewed. So like, that's where I just kind of learned that I need to take my own road. And when they tell me to like, well, we need to sell this, like certain things or do this, I will sell them, but I should not be getting repercussion for selling it the way.
Was that Rocco's Modern Life?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That does not surprise me.
No. So, that's just kind of one thing where you like,
you get told one thing, you execute on making the sale, and then they get mad at you because how you did it.
Yeah, and it was a cash sale, so that added that counted for this month,
right?
So, yeah,
that's a very good example.
Because
that's a good story.
Like if you're getting something done, I don't really care about how you're getting it done as long as it's getting done.
And I mean, obviously, it's got to be especially in sales, a little bit morally correct. You can't be promising this kid that bike's going to do 200 miles an hour and it's going to be the best thing ever in the world. Obviously he's going to get bored of it in a year and a half. Then he's going to be ready for his next one.
Yeah. Come in. But up.
Exactly. And I feel like that's another thing with like Sigmas too, is that we're not going to sugarcoat a lot of the shit. I mean, we're going to tell you the facts. We're going to be like, you want it, you like it, here's a price, or, in anything in life, like, where I'm not going to bullshit to Matt's face just to bullshit to you, make some bullshit up.
Bullshit proof.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll fucking hit me in the face. I'll be like, that smells disgusting.
All right, bitch.
Most Sigmas, their personality type, they get deemed as cold.
Yeah.
Like that's something that
I've gotten
in a relationship, you've gotten called cold.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like you've been like, you're so cold, or like
that nails it right on the head. Actually,
that was perfect.
Dude, yeah, that was a good job. That was a good one. Yep.
Anybody can listen to that and be like, wow, I resonate a lot with that. It's like, it's not that you're not caring. It's just you're not fucking giving any fluff or bullshit. Yeah. You're just calling it like it is.
And that's why some of my best friends have always been like that, like my buddy Brian.
Yeah. That's another piece too, is like, we're not loud and boisterous about it. There is a time and place to be that way, but most of the time it's going to be calm, cold, and calculated.
Yep.
The 3 C's. Tssd.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Find the wound. Apply pressure. T time and date, tourniquet, elevate, rescue position.
I have done that course probably 6 to 7 times.
Dude, I know how to save a life. I know how. I should probably.
And I never got the cert. I did it probably 6 or 7 times. They never put it on.
Yeah, but you definitely signed the roster though, saying that you were at that training though.
Oh yeah, like six, 7
times. With your EDIP number, you're like, oh yeah, I was there. Sergeant's like, hey, were you at that training? You're like, hell yeah, check the roster.
I could teach that course. That's how many times I did it. I'm like, I could physically teach this course.
What we're talking about is tactical TCCC. TCCC. Yeah, dyslexia. Tactical combat casualty care. It's a basic fucking, you learn it in boot camp, and then they do it like once a year after that. And then after you're at your duty station, Mastrangelo definitely did it more because he was actually doing field side stuff. So that's like in combat, you're like preparing for that situation. But we did a variation of it. We did, because I was PMO, so I was police, like station side, base side. So we did abbreviated version, which was more first responder related. It's like not necessarily in combat, but you're responding to an accident, on base, or somebody gets in a bad accident, falls off a ladder, you're fucking stabilizing them. Basic EMT shit. But yeah, guys, with that, I think we hit it pretty fucking good on what a Sigma is. If you do not understand what a Sigma is after that discussion,
put in the work and look it up and read it for yourself.
Yeah, we cannot help you after that. We'll put a link to the website we read from so you guys can ingest, digest, and excrete any information that does not jive with you. But with that, let's move on to our next topic. So our next topic is going to be, how does physical movement / working out help with your health? Matt, you have dived deep into the workout. I've dived on dikes. Yep.
It gets weird sometimes.
Yeah. It gets kind of hairy, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they don't shave for a while, so I guess it does get pretty hairy.
Fucking look around the corner, I'm like, whose beaver is that?
No, but it's working out definitely releases a bunch of stuff in your body where, you just feel good, the rest of you, and even mentally, like if you get your workout done right away in the morning, that's your first task that you completed. Mm-hmm. You can count that as your first win for the morning besides waking up and getting your bed done. Get out there, get some sweat in, fucking bust ass. Yep. Just get that good feeling going. And to be honest, at work, like people think working, how do you get up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, work out, then go back to work?
People's threshold for what actual hard work is so fucking low.
If they would have done our work, if they would have done our workout that Matt and I did last night, you guys would be fucking hurting bad today.
We will post the video of that, or I will post a video. I think I'm going to make my own YouTube channel just so I can put those longer videos on there, get more coverage on it, just because people aren't on Instagram trying to watch 26-minute videos. But on YouTube, you're well aware of hour-long videos.
Shorter videos are probably more ideal.
They're still gonna get posted there because I want people to see my shit, and
the ones that are invested into it too are gonna watch that whole thing because they know they're gonna get something out of it.
Right. Well, there was a message too with that video. Mm-hmm. But going back to the point at hand, physical exercise, guys, it's really simple. If you are going through some shit, you're hurting, literally, this is the cure-all. Like, no bullshit. If you can make your body sweat and get moving, what is it, Newton's third law? Nah. Look up Newton's third law. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it's his first or second law. It's an object will only go in motion unless acted upon by an equal or greater force.
The first law, an object will not change its motion unless a force acts on it.
So yeah, Newton's first law. And then after you're in motion, you apply Newton's third law. Fucking stay in motion.
In the third law, when two objects interact, they apply forces to each other of equal magnitude and opposite direction.
Tomato, potato. Yep. Maybe not exactly what I was going for. So maybe it is his first law that I'm trying to fucking drive home. Guys, when you're in the shit, when you're in your head, if you're listening to this podcast and, it's just for shits and gigs, one of us, because realistically, it's only family members, friends, people that know us in person are going to be the ones listening to this. And then maybe the occasional random person that comes across this until we make it bigger.
Exactly.
We got to put the time in, making more episodes. If you're going through literally fucking anything, I can guarantee you, like, if it's not getting better and you're just pounding your head against the wall, you are not working out correctly. You are not physically pushing your body the right way. I have been through many a time, many a struggle in my life where exercise, I never once went to the gym when I was feeling bad, fucking blue, whatever you want to call it, and then left feeling worse. I was always like, well, goddamn, like, at least I was able to sweat a little bit and get something done with today, even though today fucking sucked. And that's another realization. I do not believe that every day is perfect, because not every day is perfect. Every day is going to be a fucking challenge. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're going to get your shit together and start fucking moving. I don't know.
No, that's big.
I feel like I'm starting to get worked up.
No, it's good. We need that. Like, to be honest, guys, like, I'm not trying to go back to this first law, but an object will not change its motion unless a force acts on it. If you, like Matt was saying, if you're in that shit for so long, you're going to stay in that unless you're going to have to be the force that acts on it.
Right. Nobody's coming to your rescue.
No, you're out there. You got to do it yourself. And like yesterday when we were doing that workout, I was pissed off from work, all this and that. And I just took that, put it right into my workout. And man, when I was done with that, the feeling that I had from, just felt like.
Had that euphoria feel.
Oh, dude, it was amazing.
Like, I know, like, that, honestly, like, that was probably the closest I've come recently to fucking actually passing out from fucking working out. And there was a guy in the gym.
This part's funny as hell.
Yeah, we're in there working out. He had his headphones on for the most time of the workout. And then I'm blaring my fucking metal music, the Screamo shit on the sound system. Yeah, it's just Lamb of God, fucking everything just screaming. So, like, keeps the energy going. You're like, yeah. So we're over there doing axle overhead press. So strongman movement, you take it to your stomach, you fucking get your elbows under it, and then, press it up. I only had $135 on the bar, but at that point I had already fucking stressed my central nervous system, or CNS, for fucking active people use that little abbreviation. I had already taxed it so much that I was really using every last bit of what I fucking had in the tank to get that motherfucking bar up. And I'm over there fucking screaming on my 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10 rep. And I get done and I go over, waiting for Cole to do his set. Guy comes over. He's like, man, I've heard some screams in the gym before, but I never heard one that sounded like somebody was in actual physical pain. I was like, well, that's just how I do it, dude. You have to be fucking put yourself there, because if you don't put yourself there, you're not going to grow. And that was actually a cool compliment, even though it was an offhanded compliment that he probably didn't think anything of. But it's like, you're in your own head enough, like people like us, like you don't think you're doing enough, but somebody from the outside looking in says some shit and you're like, yeah, I'll take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, it's like, that's how much more you're pushing than they're pushing. Mm-hmm. And I can appreciate the fuck out of that.
And that's that type of gym where, when you're in there and you see someone else putting in that work.
Shout out Flex Gym.
Yeah, Flex Gym.
Sioux Falls.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
I don't know you shit.
Yeah,
I'll get you
I'll take a protein shake. Fuck that soda.
Fuck soda.
Anyways, but yeah, that's just the way that gym is. I mean, you get all those guys in there. Like when we first walked in there, I don't know if you knew those two other guys or not.
No, I didn't.
But they're just in there fucking, and I mean, they're big dudes. Like they're fucking getting after it too. And I was like, fuck, we're about to go hard in this.
It's an old school kind of gym. Yeah. It doesn't have any amenities. It has the basic bare bones shit that you need to get a workout in.
No air conditioning, which is awesome, dude.
Fans.
Oh, fuck the fans, honestly, blowing around hot air. But I will say, dude, just getting in there, getting that first little jog in with, and then carrying with the PVC pipe.
Yep, stretches.
Dude, just getting that little bit of that first sweat, like, when your brow starts to sweat a little bit, then you actually get into your fucking workout, and that's when you start sweating good. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that feeling.
Well, because it just turns on. Yeah. And then that goes back to my story the other day. Like, I want it to be easier by having the doors closed. Even at 6:30 in the morning, the lady opened them up. I'm like, fuck, now I got to work harder and take it outside. Yeah. Nah, it's all good shit. It's sweat equity. Add to your sweat bank. Good things will happen. I promise you. You don't even have to go to the gym, people. You can go for a walk around your neighborhood. And if your neighborhood has gun violence, walk faster.
Or keep that motherfucking thing on you.
Yeah, keep that motherfucking thing on you. Or better yet, go to your local park that you pay tax dollars to. Walk around that sumbitch. Yeah. Because literally, I think that's such an underutilized thing, is your city's parks.
Yeah.
And natural resource. And twofer, buy one, get one free. While you walk in your park, in your local city and or area, bring a trash bag and pick up trash and contribute to your community. Because you're like, this place is so fucking dirty. You know why? Because people like you don't pick up after other people. People like you fucking throw trash or fucking let trash fly out of your car and you don't do anything about it. You know how fucking simple it is to pick up one piece of trash a day? I do it religiously now, and look at what has happened.
Yep.
I'm sitting on a podcast. My business starts tomorrow.
August 1st, motherfuckers.
My dick has never been bigger. Literally. Balls. Twice the size that they were 2 months ago. Anyway.
Not a medical condition, no promise.
I'm not a doctor, but my initials are MD. So. But Michelle, did you have anything to add?
They talk about like longevity of life is really associated with movement.
Yep.
They say that you can really say like, and that's just really looking at the health of the individual and saying they'll really look at each, because all you do all day long, like the typical person, they're sleeping, they wake up, they go to a job, they're sitting down at that job, they get home, they sit on the couch, they watch TV, they go to sleep.
Sedentary lifestyle.
80 to 90% of your day is sitting on your ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you have to allocate a little bit of time, move, walk. A lot of people are like, oh, it's kind of like a joke, count your steps. Like just walk a little bit, like counting your steps. Like, but it does matter to move just a little bit, like having that, and even like working out in, first thing in the morning, like Cole said, it's like, that's your first task of the day, get out there and start moving. Because once you complete one task, you already started the trend.
You already started the trend of winning.
Kicking ass in the day.
Yep.
You're already in the movement of completing that obstacle that's ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, that opens up a whole other can of worms.
It does.
To go down. Yeah. It's what Mr. Andrew was saying. It's like people are so used to the sedentary lifestyle where it's just like sitting and fucking laying down the majority of their day.
And what do a lot of those people do when they're sitting down? They're bored.
Eating.
Yep.
They're eating.
Mindlessly.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about it.
And then a couple years down the road, they're like, I'm not happy with where I am because my body doesn't match how I feel.
That shit happened to me.
I've been there.
Dude, I was there.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, once I got out of the military, dude, I gained like 30 pounds. Like, dude, I'm not talking good 30. I'm talking like, I'm talking like I just gained weight.
You went on the fucking KFC diet?
No, dude, it was all that. Honestly, you know what got me? It was lasagna.
Oh, fuck, dude, yeah.
Dude,
I was crushing lasagna.
You went on the olive oil diet.
Just a whole fucking pan of lasagna.
Dude,
one a night.
I was just sitting there, just like down and like, I was like, what am I doing with my life?
You went into the grocery store fucking twice a week, go to the frozen food section, grab that Stouffer's family for 4 lasagna.
Basically.
And the cashier's like, is this for like you and like your guests that come over your house? You're like, totally. This is for my guests. In your head, you're like, the guests are me, myself, and I.
Mr. Angelo, instead of smashing 2 Busch Lights together, did the cans of marinara sauce and fucking...
Oh, just fucking douses himself in marinara and then goes to town on the lasagna.
One more.
Yeah. Dude, don't forget the garlic bread. Did you have garlic bread with it, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you had to. Had to.
Yeah. I mean, what do I look like?
You fat fuck. Dude, look at what you become. Look at how fat you are.
Yeah, I know. I sat there and I was like, I used to be like, I went from so fit. I'm sitting there, I had abs. So I'm looking, I was like, I gotta buy new pants.
That's how you know when you can't suck it anymore. You're like, God damn, these pants are too small for my.
Or when your belt breaks, when you're like sitting there,
damn, I've never had that.
You're like, why is my belt? Why do I need a new belt?
One thing that really made me notice, especially like, I mean, definitely like, so in high school, I was always super active running through sports pretty much all year long.
Staying active. Keyword.
Then got into college, what did we do? Just partied.
The freshman 40?
Dude, bad. Real bad.
Is it the freshman 40 or is it?
Freshman 15. It all depends. I mean, I was bad because the guys that I was hanging out with, like, it was Wednesday through Sunday drinking, and
Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
What about Monday and Tuesday?
We had classes Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, so you didn't fucking crush one in between classes?
There.
No.
Yeah. Like, dude, those are endless possibilities. Yeah, I was thinking you could pound one in between classes.
We weren't, I mean, like, we were drinking way too much, even though I was having a good time with it. But the thing I really noticed was I was like, Tiff, are you fucking like drying my shirts and shit? Like my pants, like my legs always have stayed relatively the same size. My upper half, I was like, what the hell's going on with my t-shirts? Like, are we shrinking these? Like, do you have the hot air on in this bitch?
Are you getting these shits dry?
And she's like, no, it's just you. I'm like, fuck. That was kind of like, that was kind of a mental wake up.
Yeah.
I needed it though.
It's like she said like you're getting fat without actually saying you're getting fat. Hell yeah.
And she's never been that person to like say, hey, you're a fat fuck or anything like that. I know. That's why I need you. That's why I have you around, Matt. This is why we're doing this shit.
I'm glad I'm useful.
Dude, one of my big takeaways was like I bought these like fitted suits that were like not cheap. I couldn't fit into it anymore.
Couple thou?
Yeah, it was I got these
a couple hundred.
I forget where I got it was. Forget the brand.
Giorgio Armani.
I have it. They were pretty nice though. They were like $1,000.
You got a Fendi suit.
I got these $1,000 suits, and literally I'm sitting there. I'm like, and I can't fit in the pants. Ooh. And I was like, all right, gonna put those back. I was like, that's great. Yeah. That's great. Now I get, but before that was my real.
But how much work did it take to get back to where you could fit in those pants?
To be honest, my main thing for me was I had to learn about food. Mm-hmm. And like, once you learn about like food, the working out will work twice as well.
I think like, people get it backwards. They think that if they work out harder and don't fucking regard what they put in their fucking face, they think that it's going to equal out, and that's so not what happens.
It's so wrong. Like you have to get the food right first, and then the working out will work like so much better.
Yeah.
And you'll get so much more out of your workout.
You'll feel better too.
Yeah.
To be honest, like this is going to sound crazy, but I like to work out first thing in the morning in a fasted state. Like,
same, 100%.
Yeah. Funny, we didn't talk about this prior to, but I also do this. The only thing that I put in my body is pre-workout and yohimbine.
I take a little bit of niacin.
Yeah. Just what do you do? A little bump of Coke? Little white lady?
Just actually, I don't even take pre-workout. I just drink water.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I don't even fuck with pre-workout. Dude, ask Matt the last time I took pre-workout. Fucking puke.
I made him puke the last time he took pre-workout. Honestly, I drink
a lot of caffeine though, so I mean it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Well, it's natural caffeine because it's coffee, right?
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah.
Well, it's just black coffee.
Yeah.
All I drink is black coffee.
Yep.
But honestly, that's the step. That's phase one that most people don't even consider is what you're eating.
Nutrition.
But working out in a fasted state is like it works so much better. You'll get such a result, and your muscle gain will increase tenfold.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that I've also learned with working out in a fasted state is like, especially during like any of my sports, like before a football game, I would never eat just because like I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to have that sluggish feel because back then I was still putting like shitty food into my body, even though I was in I shouldn't say really good shape. I was in good shape.
Yeah.
But and then like wrestling meets too, like there was no way in hell I'd go and eat a fucking greasy piece or like a piece of pizza or like
you were in decently good shape relative to how your metabolism was as a younger person. And that's another thing that people probably don't adjust is that they're eating the same way that they did when they're in their teens or 20s. And now they're 30, 40 years old and they cannot fucking handle that same bullshit.
That's a lot of
without doing the work.
So,
yeah.
But, one of the other things I was going to bring off about like, learning about food and just like that type of not even fasting, but like my cousin's boyfriend, Brandon, he just sent a Snapchat a couple days ago. It might've been a week ago. Mm-hmm. He found some potatoes and apples that he bought. I think he said like 2 months ago, but they were shoved in the back of the pantry and you can still see the sheen on the apple.
Oh yeah. Well,
your produce shouldn't be lasting that long.
It's a wax coating.
I know. And then how are his potatoes not nasty? Well, they had sprouts on them, but they weren't. There was no like mold or anything.
I think potatoes naturally just start to grow, like root out.
I've had potatoes mold. I mean, I've had them. That's how my potatoes in my garden are. I've naturally let them sprout.
An organic potato actually will root out. A non-organic potato won't.
Yep.
I think the non-organic ones start to just mold.
But potatoes are kind of, as far as like nutritional value, they're kind of like in the middle. It's kind of hard to say.
I mean, they're pretty much just a starch.
If you're just eating like a baked potato with nothing on it, it's not going to kill you.
It is.
Yeah. It's not the best thing for you, but it's not bad either. It's like it's lukewarm.
The complex carbs are the ones you want. You don't want the simple carbs, right?
Yeah. I just don't eat it. I eat 0 carbs. Absolutely
nothing. Keto, dude.
That's why you look like you're Ethiopian.
That's exactly why I look like Ethiopian.
I like to be able.
I don't eat any carbs. I just eat a lot of protein.
I like to.
I'm able to maintain.
I like to be able to lift heavy shit, so I do all three. I do fats, carbs, and protein.
Yeah, I think I probably could eat carbs, but for me, I just prefer protein, and it's just easier for me. I think like each body.
Are you in ketosis right now?
Best on different things.
Are you in ketosis?
Is that how it's pronounced? Not ketosis?
Yeah.
Oh,
ketosis.
Ketosis. Yeah.
Is that what you're in?
Ketogenic.
Is that what you're in?
I messed with a lot of I started kind of paleo.
I was gonna say.
And then from paleo, I started. I was actually eating too many vegetables, and I realized that there was kind of there's something that your body will actually get a level of bloat with eating too much vegetables, and then I added more meat into the mix, and then it went away.
Mm.
So you added more meat and decreased the amount of vegetables?
My body type. Sorry, what was that?
You increased your meat and lowered how many vegetables? Or you kept the same amount of vegetables and increased the meat?
Mostly protein, a little bit of greens, but I don't eat any spinach at all anymore.
Why is that?
Zero spinach. Spinach actually has a lot of toxins in it. So I used to eat almost a tub a week, and I didn't understand why I'm still getting it's really just it upsets your stomach. Well, it upset my stomach, and you have to realize what your body's able to handle. And certain things is good for certain people. It was just something that my body just didn't. My body's a lot better at processing meats, which most people's bodies are, than processing a lot of your body really doesn't want to eat a lot of seeds, and it really doesn't want to eat a lot of spinach.
Well, that depends on your blood type too.
Yeah, I think it has
what blood type?
Antioxidants or something. Not antioxidants. It has spinach has
what blood type are you?
It releases something in the body that literally creates it literally will create bloat through the body.
What's your blood type, Mr. Angelo?
A positive.
Okay. Yeah. There's they broke that down too. So if you know your blood type, they say there's specific food groups like seafood for us, because I'm A positive too. Seafood is the best protein source for us because it has minimal fats, zero carbs, and just our body's ability to break that down is so much more efficient than let's say beef or chicken or beef or poultry. Sources of protein, or even plant protein, would probably be second best after seafood.
I eat a lot of seafood.
Yep, me too.
Personally, I eat a lot of fish.
Yep,
at least I try to eat fish at least once a week.
Dude, I do shrimp
prep with fish.
I do bubblegum shrimp, a little big shrimp burger, shrimp stew, shrimp salad,
shrimp scampi.
Shrimp scampi.
My mama makes the best shrimp scampi.
That's about all there is. And they get back to
That's all I got to say about that.
No, he starts talking to him about it on the fucking bus on the way there, and then they're still talking about that shit.
Yeah. All through training, he's still talking about the training.
Vietnam, it's
Tell you what, we'll split it right down the middle, 50-50. Don't even have to pay your rent, just live right off the boat.
We invest on Apple company. They said we ain't got to worry about money no more.
I said, good. One last thing. So what'd you find?
I always feel bad
for
us.
Were you looking up complex carbs?
Yeah, I did. I found that. I was looking up. So I had a question in my mind, and I figured I'd just look it up. So is paleo strictly meat? Isn't it fish? Isn't that how it it's
paleo, carbs on paleo?
Paleo is no carbs.
Yep. So
it's strictly vegetables and meat. Basically, it can't come out of a box. You can't have anything with any preservatives.
Yep.
You can't have anything. Basically, 80% of the grocery store you can't eat. You have to eat something fresh. It has to be, a green or a meat.
Yep. So it says
dairy as well.
They cut out dairy on that one too.
Yeah.
Sometimes. A lot of times they do. Some will include it, but most cut out dairy.
So it says here, paleo diet. Fans of the paleo diet believe our bodies are better suited to eat foods consumed by early humans who lived in the Paleolithic age. Oh, these foods include... That's
where that comes from. I thought that was just a cool fucking California thing.
These foods include lean meat, plants, rather than heavily processed and high carbohydrate foods many people eat today. Makes sense.
Well,
there's a difference between highly processed carbs and basic ass carbs.
When they have an immune disorder, a lot of your immune disorders, they go to these low carb diets because they're so effective.
Yeah, but
I could really see how that would be. So don't nuts have carbs in them though?
A little bit, yeah.
So
it had nuts,
that's
nuts and legumes have, well, not legumes, but nuts, like tree nuts, peanuts, shit like that. They have more fat content than they do carbs or protein.
True.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of different foods that have a lot of, like, even if you're looking at like organ meats will have carbs in them.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Do you guys eat like heart or anything like that? Have you had, like have you ever had like a deer heart or cow heart? Yeah.
I thought you were saying hard. I was like, I haven't eating hard. It's like, do you not cook it all the way? Is it like still raw?
All the vitamins you need are in liver.
I feel like that might awaken some primal. No,
he's a bitch.
Fuck that dude.
He's a fraud, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about being all natural, and then he looks like he literally just got done injecting himself. It's like you can't look like that and say that you're all natural and expect people not to fucking search you up and call you on your bullshit. That's another topic.
Yeah.
Was there anything more you guys want to talk about that? Because we got 8 minutes 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Until an hour.
I think we should kind of put some closing thoughts on this one and kind of bounce into this last one that I think is going to be a little bit longer. And it's going to be kind of a mic drop on this one. So
yeah. Guys, if you've made it this far in the video, first of all, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there are certain things in the world that happen where, it's not one thing immediately. It's things that you have to pay attention to over time. And looking at the data, seeing stuff, I think TikTok is a underutilized news source. And by news source, I mean independent news source, because the people that are on there are average, run-of-the-mill people that are just reporting on what they're seeing in real life. With that, recently, there's been an uptick in this nuclear bomb shit happening in New York City. Now, you go back to August, I think it was 10th or 11th of last year, and the New York National Guard and a couple guard groups from across the country, I think.
August 11th.
And we're going to post the links for those too. They conducted mass casualty training for Yankee Stadium and the subway system in New York City for a nuclear threat assessment. And I'm not saying that, they don't do training for, that's a possibility just because other countries are capable of have nuclear capacities.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is we've had previous instances, 9/11, for example, a couple of years before, they said what to do if your building ever gets hit by a fucking plane, shit like that. It's like, what are you doing by preliminarily putting this information out there? And again, I'm not saying for sure that this has happened. I'm just saying this now because this is a very hard thought. This is a very gut feeling that I feel something bad is really going to happen in New York City come September 11th of this year. And you guys can reference this. What's today?
Today is the 31st.
31st of July.
Or 30th. Yeah, 31st.
Yeah, we're talking coming up.
Yeah, 2 months out, or a month out. A month and a couple days.
And this isn't just some inclination that, mysteriously Matt didn't pull this out of his ass. There's been, things that are, boom, here, up here, over there, and the lines are fucking, they're setting up for this could possibly happen. And like we said, we're not conspiracy theorists. We're normal guys that are connecting the dots.
We're looking at the facts.
Yeah, we're looking at the data,
and
guys.
One thing that I've always noticed, and especially with a lot of the military training that I've done, is we typically prep a year ahead.
Yeah.
With everything. And
that's called a workup.
Yeah.
It's called a workup because you're preparing for what you're about to fucking go handle.
Yeah. So I remember we got orders to do riot control.
Yeah.
For no apparent reason. We were all getting called in to do riot control.
Yep.
And all of a sudden we're in, 278 days of straight riots. And I was like, well, that's coincidental that we all get riot control training. And now there's 278 straight days
without prior knowledge that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah. They kind of had some insider scoop. But it always happens. Even with, a lot of the military training we've seen, that you see that you're prepping in advance for something that's probably going to happen.
Well,
and riot control is not something that we typically trained on. We never did.
Right.
We were doing coin-based operations for the Middle East.
Yeah.
Like that's always what we did. It was always coin-based operations, just going through and doing that basically urban operations.
For us civilians, you want to tell us what a coin-based operation is?
It's basically
that must be an army thing.
It's dealing with more.
If you just say
kind
urban,
of like a malicious sense, it's kind of like people who aren't. It's not fighting like your common warfare.
Oh, there's okay.
It's not fighting like Russia. It's fighting basically more militia type.
It's guerrilla warfare style. It's like
sitting there with tanks. They're going to be sitting there in like a house.
Another way,
on a rooftop, or
another easy way to define that is that the opposing forces are not easily recognizable by what they wear. It's like he said, it's a militia. It's guys in fucking whatever the fuck. It's guys.
They're going to be wearing blue jeans and a fucking cutoff t-shirt or a fucking robe or something.
They're not out there wearing camis.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to depict them from a normal person.
Yeah. That's why you have like your operating procedures, and you have to like align those accordingly in order for you to engage.
Your rules
of
engagement.
If it's warfare, you see a uniform, you just shoot. Like that's it. Like you see him, you fire. Like that's it.
Dude, too bad that was hijab. He got that uniform from the fucking army surplus store down the street. He was just playing soldier, and you fucking lit him up. That's what happened.
Wait, what the fuck happened?
Nah, I was using that as an example. It didn't actually.
I was gonna say someone did that shit.
No, shit, it might have happened.
Dude, I bet it has happened,
and it did not get reported on. No, but going back to what I think is going to happen. Not only the facts, the news articles, the training that has happened just this week. New York City, the people that live in New York City have gotten pushed a public service announcement to have a go bag ready in the case of a nuclear fucking bomb fallout. It's like how much more evidence do you need for something to be right there in your face to be like that's about to fucking happen?
Yeah,
and
it's one of those things when you start seeing it, people are like, I swear, some people just think in their brains it's just like this isn't real,
like this isn't going to ever happen.
Exactly, and I feel like our country is the closest it has been since 9/11, especially with everything that's been kind of going on and just leading up to it. Knock on wood.
Because I seriously, as much as I feel this is going to happen, I honestly hope it does not. Same. Because my younger sister, Kristen, lives in Jersey City, New Jersey. That's where she works and goes to school, which is literally right across the Hudson River from New York City. So if there's a nuclear bomb that goes off, she's in the fallout zone. And she has to get the fuck out of there. The other point I want to hit on real quick is the fact that on TikTok, you have people independently fucking posting stuff. And the good videos are the ones that get banned or the ones that you can never find after the first time viewing it. So like the one I sent where it's like the one video of the guy talking on the phone, talking about the buddies.
Was it the first one?
I think it was the second one. I don't know if you can play it.
That's what I was going to ask if we could play this, but I mean,
we'll post
a link to it.
We can post a link, or we'll fucking
share it.
We'll do something, or we'll actually post it to the end of this video. We'll do something to be able to let you guys see what we see. But with that video, it's like the person that made that video or made that call, they had a lot of balls. Like I'd be surprised if they're not getting.
I'm surprised someone's not knocking on their door.
Visits from the federal government just because of the shit that they talked about. I'll talk about it right here.
Fuck yeah.
So in the video, he described how he has buddies who are in the Army National Guard who are high up there, like E8, E7. So that's your pretty much top of the line staff non-commissioned officers. So they're the equivalent of a commanding officer for battalion, a detachment. These are the guys that make the calls for upwards of 200-300 soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen. But what he said was really disturbing is that they had this training recently where they're moving ordnance, and with ordnances, pretty much anything, Mr. Angelo, ordnance is anything bomb related, like could be C4, could be fucking anything that goes boom, right? So in the cover of night, they're not allowed to use lights. the lights in the trucks that they're loading don't have lights. The buildings that they're in don't have lights. They're using fucking NVGs, night vision goggles, to move this shit. And again, this is all unfounded. Like, there's obviously not going to be a news report on this. It's just what his buddy told him, his source, because his buddy told his wife to fucking get shit ready, get a go bag ready, get extra fuel, get extra batteries, get food ready, because of like what was going on. And it's just like, I'm getting goosebumps right now, because it's like shit like that, where you know in your heart of hearts that something is wrong, something feels wrong. You're trying to look out for your number one. And the fact that he reached out to his wife to say something, because normally National Guard guys, they just go do the job. Yeah. They're fine with it, whatever. There's not really a lot of high-speed shit that goes into the National Guard besides responding to state emergencies or if they get deployed for an extended amount of time. But what was the kicker is that this guy wanted to verify what was happening. So he called another buddy from a completely separate unit. Also, I think he said E7 or E8. I was like, hey, are you guys doing training right now? He's like, yeah. He's like, are you guys moving ordnance in the middle of the night with no lights and stuff? He said about an hour passed, and the dude responds, he's like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, how? Yep. So, dude, I'm getting goosebumps again. It's fucking scary shit. It
is scary, and this is like, especially the reason why we're saying we're getting goosebumps is because our fucking blood is flowing through us right now, and we're talking. Like this is seriously, people. This is life and death shit. I'm not trying to fearmonger or scare you. I'm not allowing energy to go to this thing. If one person that listens to this podcast, watches this podcast, can take away, okay, maybe we shouldn't go to New York City for the next couple months or be close there, or if we have family there, tell them not to do public event things. Because I have one last point to make on that, and then I'll let you go. On the anniversary of September 11th this year, there is a Yankees home game against Tampa Bay at 1 p.m. Think about that. Oh. And guys, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just look at the facts. I do my research. I fucking collect information that I think is pertinent. Last year when I saw that article that the National Guard was conducting this training, I had a flip go off in my head, and I texted my sister. I wish I had the text still. I said, hey, are you planning to go into New York City over the weekend or fucking whatever? Because that was August. She's like, no, we're actually down at my parents' house in South Jersey. I was like, okay, cool. You're not anywhere close to that. So I was like, all right, she's fine. But now that this shit is happening, that's an extra push. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. The other kind of crazy thing too, Matt sent us a little article here about, pretty much the only thing I ever learned about in middle school and then high school about any sort of terrorist attacks and stuff like that was 9/11. But he sent us this article from September 16, 1920. So only a couple days off, same month. I mean, it could just be a coincidence, but there's some pretty crazy shit in here that,
the Wall Street bombing.
Yeah, it's called the Wall Street, or the terrorist bomb Wall Street.
It's like, I never fucking heard about that. Yeah. The only other attack on American soil besides 9/11 that I ever learned about in school was Pearl Harbor. Yep.
And like this shit right here, they, they talk about all these people that saw what kind of happened that after the like they didn't realize that this horse and buggy was pulling up with 100 pounds of fucking dynamite in there. It's just, it's crazy shit that the government, or, our school systems aren't.
Well, it's the government.
Well, yeah, because they have their, their hand around the
public schools are federally funded.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're just going to teach, or they have these agendas that they need to follow so they can push whatever. Yep. And this is another point that I wanted to bring up real quick. If we don't know about our history, we're doomed to repeat it. Yep. And that's also a definition of insanity. Looking for the different outcome and doing the same shit over and over. That's fucked. We need to get rid of this shit. We need to fucking start getting on our feet and talking about all this shit that's actually happened so we don't repeat this bullshit.
Yep. Peel off the Band-Aid. I think it's funny that there's some people that honestly believe the Holocaust was a joke or it didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
You ever had a conversation with those kind of people, Mr. Angelo?
Yeah, they're nuts. I was just, thinking about, because I'm processing like everything you guys are saying, and obviously I'm in New York. But like
New York State. Let's be clear. You're in New York State.
Yeah.
Upstate.
Yeah, I'm in New York State. But I mean, so one thing I noticed the last couple of days, like it's all kind of clicking to me, like something that I thought was unusual within the last couple of days is that there were these escorts that were going down from upstate, downstate.
Dude,
I remember there was like a ridiculous.
Are you talking about a convoy?
I knew they were transporting something.
Are you talking about when you say an escort? I think SUVs. You're talking about military trucks.
Police. This was probably at least there had to be like 50 police cars escorting stuff going downstate.
But was it tractor trailers or was it like the motor T trucks from the Army?
That's the thing. They were all trucks. They were all things. Like, and here's the thing: is I've done these types of escorts before. So I've done these types of escorts before, and they're weapon escorts. 9 times out of 10, I knew what it was when I saw it. I knew it was a weapons escort because the only reason you bring those down is for weapons. And I've done them before, and I did them in all over different countries. And they're weapon escorts. They're probably reloading. They're probably transporting weapons from one area to the next, but it's probably dangerous cargo.
How long ago was this?
This was within like a week.
Holy fuck.
This was like probably like last week. But
okay.
I didn't really think about it. I knew. So I texted one of my friends. I was like, hey, they're transporting something big, like something dangerous they're transporting because you don't do police escorts that big unless you're transporting weapons. Yeah. So, and I've done a weapon transport before. I've transported like nuclear stuff before. And that's what happens. Like that's how they go. You have the lights will be on, everything will be going. And a lot of times it's a relocation of weapons in a specific area.
So I don't know if this was, I saw this when I was driving home. I can't remember where we were coming from. It might've been on our way home from the Black Hills, but I saw this container truck and, where the fuck was it coming from? The guy's license plate had what state was it? Let me see if I can see. It doesn't show. I can't remember what state it was, but this container truck popped out to me. And I'm kind of also on a little bit of a, where you have a feeling almost spiritual where it's like, I don't feel good about this. And it's not just because it says China.
Dude, I'm getting sick to my stomach with what Mr. Angelo just said. Like, as much as I want to sit here and like believe the shit that I've researched and put the pieces together, what he just said, without a fucking doubt, verified what is going to happen. Not if, it is what is going to happen. The impact is up to you, the viewer, the listener. If you have family in New York, I highly advise that you guys bring them in out of state. Not to fucking fearmonger, but I would not be in New York City from here until to be determined.
Yeah, to be honest with you.
Especially, I'll say from here until September 11th and maybe a couple days after that. If you have the means to fucking help family out that way, great. If not, just fucking tell them to be on the alert and fucking just be active. Yeah. Don't put your blinders onto this. Please be receptive to any new information. Because the moment that you least expect it is when shit's gonna fucking pop.
Stay vigilant, like just things that are happening around you. Like, even if you're just watching the news or, you're out, let's say you have to take a pretty long commute to work. You see something like what Mr. Angelo just said, you see an escort running down the fucking interstate.
Army trucks. Yeah. Those are fucking clear indicators. Like those don't blend in in an urban environment. They stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah,
I'm
getting
pissed off, honestly.
Well, I mean, New York State is also like all of the energy from 90% of the energy from New York State is all nuclear.
Yeah,
like we are a complete nuclear. I mean, most of our energy is nuclear anyway.
Yeah,
which is like problematic all in itself. Mm-hmm. But like we use some dangerous stuff. But that specific one, I saw it and I was like, all right, something bigger is going on.
You connected the dot from what I was saying to that. Like, Oh, that shit makes sense. Because what else would they be fucking moving that high of fucking... I'm not saying that it's specifically the same ordinance we're talking about. I just think it's really funny
It's very suspicious
that we have the story of the people of the National Guard guys. Yeah.
This is the thing is like upstate is one of those areas that you're not going to keep your stuff in downstate. It's too much of a hot spot. You would keep it all upstate.
Yeah. So to do something, you'd move it.
Yeah, you would move it.
Yeah.
You'd like start.
So they were moving all that upstate, or they're moving it south?
They're moving it south, correct?
Yeah, and obviously I don't have all the details. I'm just going off of like what I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Though it's what you saw. Nobody can take that away from you. Like we're not there. We're not New York. So I'm just going off of what I can research.
I mean, I have no idea what was potentially going on, but from what you're saying and what I saw a couple days ago, and obviously I'm in New York in general.
Yeah,
I have seen that. I've seen some type of movement.
Yep.
Within the last week, and
that's different from the National Guard guys, the Air Patrol doing like regular fucking convoys, just getting their hours in because they just do their hours.
State troopers.
Yeah, they don't have state troopers for regular convoy.
But I'm telling you, they called in everybody.
Yeah,
like everyone was.
Was there helicopters? So it had to be big. Was there helicopters too?
Oh, there had to have been.
I didn't see any, but that's not saying that there weren't.
Right.
Because the last one I did, we had snipers on the road. Like we had literally snipers on the road.
Yeah.
Like we had everything.
Yeah.
We literally had snipers on the road. We had helicopters. We had Humvees. We had police vehicles. Everything was going down.
Yeah.
What I should say is, who is this attack going to be from? So what is your inclination?
This is going to be an answer a lot of people don't like. But I'm okay with it because it's my opinion. This whole fucking podcast, this whole thing that we're doing, guys, I'll remind you, this is coming from where we see things. It's our point of view. Take from it what you will or leave it. I just think that it holds a lot of weight. And like we said, we're Sigmas, so we look at shit hard facts, not feeling based. Even though a lot of shit is how you feel about a situation, that does not mean it's what makes my decision.
Yep.
Just because I'm happy doesn't mean I'm going to go spend $5,000 on a fucking brand new car. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to spend $5,000 to fucking fix my house if my house needs an air conditioner, which consequently it does. So we fucking improvise and we got window AC units because it fucking works.
And it's cheaper.
It's so much cheaper. It's fucking stupid. But with that, guys, just like 9/11, for those of you that fucking still believe that 9/11 was completely outside of America, you're fucking wrong. There is literally thousands of pages of documents on how it was an inside job, how fucking the U.S. government organized that shit. The fucking Taliban was funded and trained by the CIA. A lot of people forget that. Osama bin Laden was a trained CIA operative. That's facts. That's not arguable.
We did train him, yeah.
This comes back to you doing your fucking research and looking into it.
Yeah, and just fucking taking from stuff what you will or leave it. Because I'll read stuff, I'll be like, I'll think about it, and I might believe it for a little bit, but then I'll go back and be like, that just doesn't fit right. And then I'll find something that disproves it. I'm like, okay. And then I'll figure it out from there. But this attack is going to be a false flag attack to spark a new war since America left Afghanistan to make money, because we're in a recession that's worse than 2008, pretty close to the Great Depression, if not worse than the Great Depression. And this is their move. This is the U.S. government's move to get us back on track. And I think they're going to blame it on that one of the superpowers, either North Korea, China, or Russia. And with the current situation, I think the easiest one would be to blame it on Russia.
Mm-hmm. The reason I brought that question up is because I've had a feeling ever since we started talking about this that, it's going to be something of holy shit. They're here.
We're recording in a basement, so people are
running to the gun room.
Yeah, there are people moving about upstairs.
That's a Mexican standoff.
I got Call of Duty in my fucking warehouse down here, dude.
That was not the deal. Worried. You got guns on us. We got guns on you. That's a Mexican standoff. That was not the deal. No guns, no deal.
But side note on this, I feel
Sam,
that looking at everything, with regards to what Drayton just said, one thing to take note is that I think on an economical stance, we're in for a huge crash.
Yeah.
And that's just me looking at the data, looking at everything.
Like this happens.
And I think that they're going to, if this happens, and I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying that there's a lot of dots that point in this direction.
Yeah.
But I think they would use this to blame the crash on this event, which the two won't have anything to do with each other. But I think they'll use this crisis as a good bridging point to basically say, oh, the economy crashed not because of us, not because of our negligence, but because
we had to go fight this war.
Yeah,
we had to go fight this war all of a sudden.
And I could see, if this did happen, I could see that being the reason. And the thing is, as far as like, if you want to get even deeper, which I shouldn't do, but like, as far as like,
here, let's fucking, we'll fucking claw you back to the surface like the fucking claw machine.
So like, when you look at elections, no one's going to change an administration in the middle of a wartime.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about it. Dude, don't even start. We're going to be here another hour. But like, let's just take that for instance. But like, people don't typically change over hands in wartime, especially if there's a huge conflict. Well, yeah, just because there's no continuity.
So people are afraid of that. So they don't want to change hands over in the middle of a conflict like that. So, except
we probably would, because Biden is not the president, and we need fucking somebody who's actually competent and wants America.
Somebody who knows how to get through doorways would be nice.
Or not fall off a bike. You guys remember that?
I would honestly, I'd almost prefer an actor, like just to fake what we got. Like,
dude, get Johnny Depp in there. He put a woman in her place. Dude, she took a shit on his bed. She took a shit on his bed, and he still made her pay fucking $15 million or whatever the damages were. That's a fucking pimp.
Fuck you, Amber Heard.
Amber Turd.
Yeah.
Some actor who works out every day and got like a six pack, and he just goes and
Jason Momoa
speeches.
The Rock.
Like,
Dude,
The Rock.
Get the Rock in there.
Yeah, just put the Rock up there. Screw it.
Dude, give the Rock the Rock.
Yeah.
Give the Rock the Rock.
Yeah. Tote the Rock.
That should be his slogan if he ever runs for president. Give the Rock the Rock. That's fucking awesome. All right, guys. With that, we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm gonna pose this question to you. What did you guys take away from this episode? And this could be a culmination of things. It could be one from each of the topics we hit on. It could just be from one thing. It could just be a different point of view that you may not have had prior to listening or watching this. Action steps. Anything that we talked about, literally do some research on it. Think about it for yourself. And then implement. So figure it out for yourself. Research, implement.
Yep.
A really easy thing to do. Also, for those of you that want to do something about not necessarily stopping, but maybe minimizing the impact of this New York City shit. Again, don't give it your attention. Don't let your energy fucking get sucked into it, because that's how a lot of shit actually happens, because they fearmonger. They fucking let a population of people believe that something's going to happen. Along with it, actually, physically, like the plan is in play, but the impact will not be as great if not as many people believe in it or fucking are aware of it, because then we're taking the steps necessary to mitigate that from actually happening. So with that, talk to your fucking neighbor.
Yeah.
You know, have a conversation with them. Ask them if they have family in New York City. If they have heard any of the things that we talk about, show them this show, because that's gonna make them better at the end of the day. And one last thing, guys, pick up a piece of trash, because I'm fucking tired of picking up after everybody.
Put in the motherfucking work.
Put in the work. Cole, Mistrangelo, did you guys each have something?
I just kind of wanted to run off those actionable steps too. Like when we say go out and do something, like not only just look it up and do the research, but actually go out there, you know, talk to someone new about what you've learned or what you've gathered from us. Give them your opinion on it. Like Matt said, get a conversation in, you know, get something.
My phone died.
Get a conversation in that you actually
get something
from, you know, have some substance to it. Don't go out there and just be, you know, talk about the random bullshit that goes on every day.
Yep.
You know, have a conversation where you're getting something and you're also giving something to the person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
And get some sweat equity in.
Sweat equity. Mistrangelo, what do you got?
I would say, you know, obviously what we're saying here is all, you know, we're stating how we feel, and obviously
it's very profound.
We're stating what we believe as individuals. We're not going based off of the herd. We're not going based off of what other people think. We're going based off of what we individually think. So don't, take what we say and, think about it, but, let it marinate for a minute, let it sit with you and, come up with your own conclusions. We're not saying, think what we think, but at the same time, it's like, we're just giving you a perspective. We're giving you a point of view that to open up your horizons. And at the same time is, again, do your research and, don't be afraid to go against the crowd, because at the end of the day, that might be a more suitable placeholder for you versus what society says you should do. A lot of times society is going to steer you the wrong way because they want to make money off of you. And you have to decide for yourself what's true and, what's bullshit. And at the end of the day is it has to be true to you. So just, stay free, think about what you want to do and make it happen.
Hell yeah. And with that, guys, we're going to wrap up the second episode of the Sigma Sit Down.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all watching, listening. With that, look out for the mini casts or the mini vlog, whatever the fuck.
Shortcast.
The shortcast. Yeah, there you go. Fucking
little 5 to 7 minute episodes, guys. Nothing too crazy. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit comical. Maybe it's something that Matt and I have to talk about, get something off our chest.
Yep.
It's just going to be a little hodgepodge, a little bit of everything, but you will get some value out of it. I promise you that. It's
just to get more content out there, honestly. Yep. But I think the majority of what works for us is doing this on Sundays because we all have the time to fit it in our schedules.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, both of you, for being here. Thank you for putting in your time and energy and thoughts into this conversation. I feel better having said what we've said. And if we can save a life, fucking great.
Yeah.
If not, that's their own fault for not fucking heeding our warning, or taking an actionable step. With that, guys, we have an Instagram up at the Sigma Sit Down 1776 raw. We don't have any content on there, but go fucking follow it. We'll put stuff on there. Follow the YouTube, subscribe, comment what you liked, what you didn't like. Any criticisms, good criticism. Yeah, guys, share the show, and we'll talk to you next week.